Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today what we're going to do is we're going to really just do a completely different video than I normally do. Now I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. Not sure how long the video will be, but alright, so just a quick little story here before we get really into the video. Now I was talking to two helpers that had just started, probably not even a couple months, and come to find out I knew the journeyman they were working with, and they told me that they ran across my channel and was like, you know, I wish to goodness somebody would have done a video telling me what I needed to get when I first came in the trade. Basically, you know, right now, if you're an electrician or you're going to be an electrician, you know that there is a high demand all over the United States for electricians, so you're definitely in a good field first and foremost. But they said, you know, I watched all these videos and nobody's telling me what an apprentice should have to start out with. Now, I didn't have a video. What I did is when I first started, I had a journeyman tell me, go out and get these tools. I did it, and the rest is history. All right, I did start out with Craftsman tools. Obviously, I'm with Klein now because they're a lot better tool, but there's nothing wrong with the Craftsman. You got to get what you can afford. You know what? And who cares if somebody says, oh, you got Craftsman? What are you, some Jagleg? Don't worry about it. You know what? You got to start somewhere. So, meantime, they said, you know, I wish there was a video on YouTube or somewhere of somebody telling me what to get, you know, what to buy, because I don't know. So I decided I'm going to do a video because I didn't see a video on YouTube either. So let me just tell you this, okay? First and foremost, if you're an apprentice, you need to keep this in mind, okay? You are going to be talked down to. It's just the nature of the beast, okay? You also need to make sure that you listen to everything and you take it in. I know sometimes you got to leave your ego at the door and just go in, okay? And there are going to be those journeymen that are going to try to run you, and those are the people you really don't want to hang around with. But if they got a lot of knowledge and they're wanting to teach you and they still treat you like crap, you might have to just deal with it for a little while, okay? Luckily for me, I had good teachers, except maybe one or two. But other than that, you just got to have to stick with it and deal with it, okay? Now I've got a top 10 list of tools that I think an apprentice needs to begin with, okay? It's not anything that's set in stone. It's something that I would say, you know, if I was a green helper going into this field, what would I like to start out with, okay? So now this is just a basic list, believe me, okay? So let's go ahead and start, okay? All right, so we're gonna start with the first one, and that is a pencil. All right, a pencil is important, obviously, for many reasons. Write your stuff down. Write what your journeyman says down. Write the, maybe he's telling you a circuit number, or maybe he's telling you, we need to bend this conduit, so make sure that you write this down, or whatever the case may be. You know, you need to write a material list to go to the supply house, all right? Definitely need a pencil. And there's also another reason for a pencil, which I'll tell you in a little while. You need a pad to write on, piece of paper. Obviously, when I started, we just used cardboard, rip a piece of cardboard out. Now I carry, you know, today I still carry, I have a book with, you know, notepad and a calendar. It's just what I carry all the time. There's lots of reasons why I do it. Always have a YouTube, and just for things I need to, you know, remember. It's handy to have. Sure, you can have a cell phone, and we're gonna get into cell phones later. But definitely need a piece of paper to write on. Number 3, a watch. Very important. You want to get to work on time, obviously. You need to know, you need to tell your journeyman when breaks are. You also need to say when it's time to go home. But you don't want to look like the guy that's saying, hey, you know, it's time to go home, you know, when you're in the middle of a wire pull, because that's not cool. You know, I'm just letting you know a watch is important to have. All right, so number 4, linesman's pliers. Now, I'm going to stop right here and tell you this, okay? The linesman pliers, everything I'm going to show you from this point on, I will leave a link down below where you can buy this, okay? This is from Amazon. You can feel free to buy it or not. If you do buy it from my link, it will not charge you any more money than normal. Also, will help my channel grow by giving me just a little commission, possibly. Let me show you the linesman's pliers that I use. Now, this is what I use right here, just a pair of journeyman's pliers. You know, these things are, I've had them for a long time, and they are, in my book, the best pliers. I used to have the Craftsman one. They were good, but nothing beats Klein in my book anyway. So anyway, let's go to number 5, strippers. All right, I'm going to show you the ones I use. These are the ones I use. You can see they have been used. These are dual strippers. What that mean? It means you can strip 10 on the top, you can strip 2 14s at one time and 2 12s at one time. So it saves a lot of, you know, motion right here, okay? These are called dual strippers for that reason. Dual meaning you can do 2 12s or 2 14s or 1 10 at one time. Like I said, all these will be down below in the description if you want to check them out. Also, you can go to my Amazon store too. All right, number 6, a level. Now, this is just the one I use. This is a Klein. And you can see it's got a lot of usage on it. These levels are so high quality. I mean, I've dropped this thing numerous times, and these magnets are extremely, extremely powerful. You know, it's got them rare earth magnets. But anyway, like I said, this is the Klein. It also glows in the dark. It does a very good job. So keep that in mind. Get you a level. Don't buy a Western Auto or a Walmart one if you can afford one of these good ones, because they are a world difference. All right, number 7. A tape measure. Now this is the one I use. I also have a Klein one. This is a 16 footer. Now when I first started, I had a 35 footer, and I carried it around for a long time, and it did good, but how many times did you really pull out 35 feet? So I come down and I figured, okay, well, I'll get a 25 footer. Well, I mean, then I thought, am I really going to use 25 foot? So I got the 16, and I've been happy with it ever since. And this is actually one that I just bought probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it has been excellent. You know, 16 foot is all you need, and I write a lot of stuff on the back, as you can see. So, you know, different measurements and everything. You know, you have a Sharpie for that, and that goes with the pencil too. I meant to say, you know, the pencil thing and the Sharpie go hand in hand, but the pencil is what you really want to use a lot, especially on conduit stuff. All right, number 8. Let's go down here and see. Tick tracer. Now, there are many of these tick tracers. This is the one that I use the most, and this is the one that I like the most. This is by Santronics. All right, this, you know, there are, like I said, there's many of these. Fluke makes them, Klein, Gardner Bender. There's numerous people make them. I've had Fluke, I've had Klein, and this is the one I like the best. It's always done me right, and let me tell you a little story about this real quick. When you get it out, there's no on and off button, so you have to make sure it works. The best thing to do to make sure it works is see how it lights up. If it lights up, you know it's good. After you check something and you're not sure, go back to a hot circuit that you know is hot for sure, stick it on there and make sure. That way you feel comfortable. This is only a detection device. It's not something that's going to save your life. So be cautious every time. Always treat everything like it's live, even if you know it's locked out and dead, all right? So that is a big thing that you make sure you have. All right, number 9. Screwdriver. I'm going to show you 2 different ones. So the ones that I like to use, this is not my most favorite, but this is a 10-in-1. It's not a heavy-duty one, but I love the heavy-duty 10-in-1s for obvious reasons. If you're going to be working in a hot gear, which you should not be, but if you are, this is not the tool for you, because these little ends, of course, they're not going to come out now, but they come out pretty easy. And if you don't want to be tightening down on a breaker or something and that thing's sticking in there and you're like, uh-oh. So anyway, I do like the 10-in-1s for a lot of different things. I love this one. This is the extended one. Basically, you push the button down and you can change it from Phillips to flat, put it in, you pull it up, push it in. I mean, it's extended, so I mean, you can see how long it is, and then it goes down to pretty short. This is a super, super awesome screwdriver. I highly recommend that one. I mean, it's just great. You can't beat with it, but you know, you're not supposed to beat with them anyway, right? All right, and number 10, a tool bag. Now, you can get any tool bag you want. When I first started, I decided to buy a Klein bag, and I used that thing for umpteen years. However, I'm out of that Klein bag thing. So what I did is I went to Harbor Freight and I got this tool bag right here. Now, this is the first one, it's actually the second one I've had. The first one I did, I took the hammer loops off because if you go up against a drywall that's already painted, you're going to leave marks. So if you're going to be in a house or a building where you got to be cautious, I would cut the hammer loops off. But this is like 30 bucks at Harbor Freight, and you can't go wrong with it. I mean, I've had this one probably for 10 years. The other one I had for probably close to at least 10, if not maybe 8. And I decided to get this one instead because the other one had a hole in it from doing exactly what I have now, leaving a drywall saw in it like that and screwdrivers and it punched through. All right, there you go, guys. Make sure that you do have a Sharpie also. I meant to put Sharpie up there with a pencil, but it doesn't really matter. Sharpie is just, I highly recommend having a Sharpie, but try to do all your work on conduit or something that's going to be visible. Leave that to pencil if you can. All right, I hope this helped. Like I said, you know, the only stupid questions are the one you guys are not asking. Always remember that. If somebody laughs at you after you ask a question, they're like, this guy don't know anything. Who cares? Because guess what? A couple years from now, 3 or 4, maybe even 5, maybe a couple months, you're going to remember that. And somebody else is going to be like, hey, I wonder if this is, and you'll be like, I know the answer to that question. So always remember that. You know, don't feel silly asking questions, because believe me, I ask a lot of questions. All right, guys, if you like what you see here, don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.